Imagine you are walking through a medieval English town. It is a Tuesday morning. You can hear shouting, crashing, and the sound of something heavy slamming into a wooden door. You turn the corner and you see it. Hundreds of men, running, screaming, brawling through the streets, knocking over market stalls, smashing through fences, all of them chasing a single inflated pig's bladder. This is football, and it has just been banned by the King of England for the third time this century. The sport you watch today in sold-out stadiums, on giant screens, followed by billions of people across every continent on Earth, started as something so chaotic, so violent, so utterly ungovernable that kings, priests, and mayors spent 500 years trying to stamp it out. They failed every single time. This is the story of how they failed. Go back to medieval England around the year 1100. There were no pitches, no goalposts, no referees, no rules. On certain festival days, entire towns would divide into two sides and spend the whole day trying to move a ball from one end of the settlement to the other. The ball could be kicked, carried, thrown, or wrestled away. The goals were sometimes miles apart. The playing field was the entire town. Shops, rivers, fields, alleyways, all of it was in play. Historian David Dykes at the University of Edinburgh has documented accounts of these early matches lasting from sunrise to sunset, leaving behind broken bones, destroyed market stalls, and at least one recorded drowning. The medieval game had no concept of a foul because the entire point was chaos. The chaos was the game, and people loved it. They loved it so much that nothing could stop them playing it. In 1314, King Edward II of England issued a royal proclamation forbidding football in the streets of London. The reason given was that it caused a great noise in the city, disturbing the peace. The real reason was that young men were spending their free days playing football instead of practicing archery. England needed archers. It did not need footballers. Nobody listened. Edward III banned it again in 1349. Richard II banned it in 1389. Henry IV banned it in 1410. Each king issued stronger and stronger penalties, imprisonment, fines, threats of excommunication from the church, and each time, within weeks, the games resumed. In the fields outside the city walls, in the alleyways, in the churchyards on Sunday mornings, which scandalized the clergy so deeply that the Pope himself was petitioned to intervene. The game could not be killed because it was not organized by anyone. There was nothing to shut down. No club, no association, no governing body, just people who wanted to play. This is the first thing you need to understand about football. Its greatest strength was always its formlessness. You do not need equipment. You do not need wealth. You do not need permission. You need a ball or something shaped like one and somewhere to run. That is it. Every attempt to ban it failed because you cannot ban a human impulse. For 500 years, mob football spread quietly across Europe. Different towns played it differently. In Florence, a version called calcio storico was played in the city squares by teams of aristocrats in elaborate costumes. In China, a game called cuju had been played for over 1,000 years, involving a leather ball kicked through a hole in a silk net. In Mesoamerica, rubber ball games were played in ceremonial stone courts. Different cultures, different rules, same instinct. Something in the human brain craves this particular combination of running, a ball, and competition. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar at Oxford University has argued that team sports function as a form of social bonding that mimics the coordinated group activities of our earliest ancestors. When you celebrate a goal with 11 strangers, your brain releases the same cocktail of endorphins it would have released when your ancient ancestors successfully cooperated on a hunt. Football does not just entertain you, it chemically bonds you to the people around you. This may be why no law could stop it. By the early 1800s, football was being played in English public schools. But here's something interesting happened. Every school played by different rules. At rugby school, you could pick up the ball and run with it. At Eton, you could not. At Harrow, the ball was different. At Winchester, the pitch was different. Boys who had learned the game at one school arrived at university and found they could not play with boys from other schools because no one agreed on the basic rules of what football even was. On the 26th of October 1863, a group of men gathered at the Freemasons' Tavern in London. They were representatives of 12 football clubs, and they had come to agree on a single set of rules. After 6 meetings and weeks of argument, the Football Association was born. The laws of the game were written down for the first time. You go,